Kiyu Sugardust is the face of HuniePop. Literally, she's the first girl we see as soon as we start up the game, and she's our guide in our quest to get some sweet, sweet puss. The question here is, why Kiyu? Why is she specifically the one who plays the role of mascot and teacher for HuniePop? The obvious answer here is that it would make no sense if Nikki or some other human came up to the player, broke into their house, and taught them how to play Match 3, but that's not what I'm asking. Kiyu could have had any personality. She could have had the bitchy tendencies of Audrey, the seductive personality of Jessie, or the caring nature of Belly, but she doesn't. Kiyu is wild. She's carefree, perverted, confident, outspoken, and most importantly, fun. Kiyu's personality was chosen specifically for a reason. It was chosen to set the tone and mood of HuniePop. Anybody who's taken an English class can tell you that tone is the feeling that is interpreted from an author's dialogue. For example, the tone of a character can be joyful, depressing, anxious, or any other number of feelings, but the thing here to note is that the tone doesn't come from what the author says, but rather how he says it. It comes from how a situation is described, and more importantly in our case, how characters talk. In short, tone is the feeling of the author expressed through his word choice. Mood, on the other hand, is the feeling created in the reader from a story's theme, setting, diction, and even tone, among many other devices. Tone and mood work together to create the atmosphere of a story. A character who has a happy tone will give the reader a happy mood and create a happy atmosphere for the story. The two are different, but related. They intertwine with each other. The two are like an incestuous brother and sister who just won't stop going at it. Okay, you get it. Tone is this and mood is this, and they create that. But why am I telling you this? What does this have to do with Kiyu? See, Kiyu plays a major role in creating the atmosphere for HuniePop. Atmosphere doesn't just apply to books, it applies to all pieces of media, including games. Having an effective atmosphere is so incredibly important because it directly affects how the player feels while playing the game. Here's what I mean. In HuniePop, you talk to cute girls, have fun with puzzles, and at the end of the day, you're just trying to get laid. HuniePop needs an atmosphere that matches what you do in the game. So is it going to have a depressing, dramatic atmosphere bringing the player down the entire game? No, it's going to have a silly, casual, lighthearted atmosphere to match its silly, casual, lighthearted concept. This is where Kiyu comes in. Kiyu's job is to set this atmosphere, and she accomplishes this perfectly in the player's bedroom at the start of the game. Firstly, let's look at Kiyu's design, which is just as important for setting the atmosphere as everything else. The bright colors, loose clothing, and lack of pants tells the player that Kiyu is lively, carefree, and perverted. Right away, the tone of her design is giving the player a certain mood. Secondly, Kiyu's tone of voice is upbeat, it's perky, it has energy. Again, it puts the player in the happy HuniePop mood. Lastly, when Kiyu talks to the player, she's relaxed, she's comical, and she's enthusiastic. Her tone puts the player in a pumped up mood. Are you noticing a pattern here yet? Everything about Kiyu was designed to create the kind of atmosphere a game like HuniePop should have. Silly, casual, perverted, and lighthearted. Kiyu embodies this kind of atmosphere, and that's what makes her the perfect mascot for HuniePop. Alright, so we know Kiyu's tone, we know how she goes about doing and saying things, but what is Kiyu's personality specifically? Well, that's a little more difficult to answer because Kiyu is technically a hidden character. A shared mechanic among all hidden characters is that they don't ask about various things or situations, but instead quiz the player on one distinct topic, such as space, cats, the girls, or in Kiyu's case, her past interactions with the player. A unfortunate result of this selective quizzing is that we don't get to see any deep personalities from these girls, because a girl asking you about abortion is going to reveal a little bit more about her personality than if she asked you what the Latin name for a cat is. To make up for this lack of character depth, the hidden characters have outrageous concepts compared to the normal girls. An alien, a cat girl, a god, and a fairy. Their concepts alone are meant to carry for what they lack in character depth. So to judge their personalities, we need to look at their concepts as a major part of their personalities. Kiyu is slightly different in the case of the hidden characters because she has way more dialogue than any other girl in the game, so her personality is more defined, but if I had to briefly describe Kiyu's personality, I'd say that Kiyu is a bro. She genuinely wants to help out the player with girls. She comments on the girls' appearances with the player like any bro would, and she is more than willing to talk about or engage in sex. Some people may not like the carefree attitude Kiyu has, they may think that she's too loose or unrefined, and honestly she is, but that's part of the fun with her. She's not all positives though. Her lack of ever taking things super seriously means that you could never have a relationship with Kiyu that is anything more than friends without benefits. Kiyu's kinda a slut, and some people don't like that about her. However, chances are that if you enjoy HuniePop, then you'll enjoy Kiyu. With everything about Kiyu all said and done, let's talk about the other hidden characters. Why do people like them? To answer that, let's look at Celeste. Celeste is a sexy, intelligent, badass alien bounty hunter, and there you go, that's why people like her. There's a big appeal to having a strong, smart alien GF. The cool thing about being in a relationship with Celeste is that the both of you can constantly learn new things about each other's planet and cultures. For example, did you know that Celeste is nocturnal, comes from a snow planet, and that all the women of her species are exactly 5'9"? It's also cute to see Celeste learn about some of the things on our planet, like bra sizes, hot springs, and alcohol. Celeste also has this analytical way of talking that's funny and weirdly erotic at the same time. In general, Celeste seems to be everybody's favorite girl when it comes to the hidden characters, and in my opinion, rightfully so. But you know who everybody's least favorite hidden character is? Momo! Momo is a kitty. A baby kitty, which means she has the mental age of a child, and she's just barely above the age of one too. Momo can be extremely uncomfortable for most players, like you're seducing a young, naive child into drinking and then having sex with you. It's troubling to say the least. And her tone of voice definitely doesn't help.
Master, why?
However, I'm going to be completely honest here. I love Momo. At first, I absolutely fucking hated her, but she grew on me. I mean, come on, she's just so cute and innocent that you can't help but want to hug her. No, wait, I mean fuck her. Momo loves you unconditionally, and she'll never get mad at you, even if you fail a date with her. She's just so adorable. The appeal of Momo is simple. She's a kitty that you can fuck! Finally, we have Venus. Venus is a god, a woman of the highest caliber who embodies love and sex. Venus has this very dignified and royal aura around her. You treat her with respect and she'll treat you with respect. Venus is for players who like high-class women, a woman who would be difficult to entice with your charm so easily like other girls. Women like Venus are a challenge to see if you know how to treat them well enough to be in a relationship with them. Venus has the hard-to-get appeal, and it fits her perfectly considering she's the last girl in the game with the hardest dates. Something about her high and mighty attitude just makes you want to hear her scream your name in pleasure. Then, when you finally manage to capture her heart, you can consider yourself just as high and as mighty as her. Personally, out of all the hidden characters, I'd have to say that my favorite is Momo. Yes, I know, and fuck you, I like her. So who's your favorite hidden character? Do you think Kiyu sets the atmosphere of HuniePop as well as I think she does? Tell me in the comments! Or don't, it's up to you. So like, dislike, comment, or even subscribe if you want to. Later!